This is a nuclear fusion-powered spacecraft, the Eris, embarking on a grand expedition into the far reaches of our solar system. In the year 2200, humanity has reached a new era of exploration and discovery. Mankind's destiny is no longer confined to Earth, and it was never meant to remain tethered to its cradle. With the Eris, we venture toward the mysterious dwarf planets that orbit beyond Neptune, seeking answers about the origin of our system, the evolution of worlds on the fringes, and the potential for new frontiers of human life and scientific understanding. The journey begins in Earth's orbit, where the Eris is launched from a sprawling orbital complex above a rejuvenated Earth. The spacecraft's sleek, elongated hull, constructed from advanced graphene composites and self-healing alloys, glimmers under the light of our restored sun. Its nuclear fusion drive, an engineering marvel combining quantum plasma injection and magnetized inertial confinement, promises a sustained acceleration reaching 3.8% the speed of light over a protracted burn phase. In a mere 20 days of continuous acceleration at 1g, the ship gathers momentum, leaving behind the familiar confines of the inner planets. As the engines roar to life, the inhabitants of the Eris, an eclectic mix of 2,200 souls, including scientists, engineers, doctors, educators, and a new generation of pioneers, experience the dual wonder and terror of departure. In the initial phase, the acceleration is gentle enough that every human on board can feel the subtle push of 1g, simulating Earth's gravity. Families gather in the observation domes, watching Earth recede into a vibrant mosaic of blues and greens. The command deck, filled with holographic displays and neural-linked interfaces, buzzes with activity as mission controllers monitor every parameter in real time. Their excitement is palpable, a reminder that humanity's greatest leaps are not without risk. During the acceleration phase, the Eris performs a remarkable maneuver known as the Great Shift. After achieving cruising speed, the ship's outer habitat ring, a circular structure 800 meters in diameter, begins to rotate, generating a centrifugal force that produces artificial gravity equivalent to 1g. This ingenious design allows the inhabitants to live and work as if they were still on Earth, with the floor lining the inner surface of the ring and windows embedded along the curved wall, offering a view of the endless void. The rotational mechanism, powered by a series of magnetofluid thrusters arranged around the ring's circumference, spins at precisely 1.7 rotations per minute, calibrated to mimic terrestrial gravity. Once stable, the spin thrusters shut off, allowing the habitat ring to maintain its motion through the conservation of angular momentum, ensuring a seamless transition from the engineered forces of acceleration to the natural order of rotational dynamics. Beyond the engineered comfort of the spinning habitat, the Eris's nuclear fusion core hums quietly in the ship's rear. This core, a fusion of deuterium and helium-3, is the beating heart of the vessel, providing both propulsion and energy for all onboard systems. Sophisticated cooling arrays and magnetic containment fields ensure that the fusion reactions occur safely, producing a steady stream of thrust and power. The drive is capable of sustaining its output over decades, allowing the Eris to cruise steadily through interplanetary space at its preordained speed, covering astronomical distances in what will be a journey of nearly 150 years as measured by Earth's clocks, but significantly less from the perspective of those on board, thanks to time dilation effects in this unique regime of relativistic travel. As the spacecraft leaves the familiar realm of the gas giants, it begins its transition into the outer solar system. The journey to the dwarf planets is not a simple straight path, but a carefully plotted trajectory that takes the Eris past the orbits of Uranus and Neptune before turning inward toward the Kuiper Belt. Along the way, the ship navigates through sparse regions of interplanetary debris. High-precision tracking sensors and automated laser defense systems work in concert to detect and deflect rogue objects, micrometeoroids and stray fragments from ancient collisions that could jeopardize the vessel's integrity. The front of the Eris is armored with multi-layered shields, each designed to absorb and dissipate the energy of impacts, while the ship's AI constantly recalculates the safest path through this cosmic minefield. Meanwhile, life aboard the Eris evolves in extraordinary ways. The onboard community has been carefully selected and genetically profiled to ensure a healthy mix of skills, cultures, and resilience. Social scientists, biologists, and historians work together to foster a vibrant society that balances the rigors of space travel with the creative spirit of human endeavor. Educational facilities, complete with immersive virtual reality modules, provide continuous learning opportunities for both children and adults, ensuring that every generation born on board is equipped with the knowledge to manage and expand upon humanity's legacy. Every new birth is celebrated with a ceremonial release of a digital time capsule, a symbolic message sent into the void to remind future generations of Earth's enduring influence. The Eris's living quarters are a marvel of modular engineering. Each module is designed to be reconfigurable, adapting over time to the changing needs of the crew and passengers. Multi-level vertical farms, using aeroponic and hydroponic systems, supply fresh produce year-round, while large-scale bioreactors recycle water and air with near-perfect efficiency. In the central hub of the spacecraft lies the Nexus, a vast atrium that serves as a communal gathering space, cultural center, and command post. Here, families dine together, art and music are celebrated, and the progress of the mission is broadcast on giant screens that float in mid-air. The Nexus is not only a symbol of the journey's scientific purpose but also of the deep human need for connection, community, and continuity. After the initial acceleration and the establishment of a stable cruise phase, the Eris embarks on the long, silent journey through interplanetary space. Over the first decade, the spacecraft passes by the remnants of the once bustling Kuiper Belt objects, a region now understood to be a treasure trove of clues about the early solar system. Deep space probes sent ahead of the Eris had revealed that many of these dwarf planets harbor a complex interplay of ice, rock, and organic compounds, a geological record written in frozen time. The crew's scientific instruments, spectrometers, subsurface radars, and cryogenic sample collectors, are primed to study these ancient worlds. Each observation, each measurement brings humanity one step closer to understanding not only the origins of our own planet but also the myriad processes that shape celestial bodies in the outer solar system. At the same time, the Eris's navigational systems initiate a series of precise course corrections. The ship must perform periodic gravity assists by using the residual gravitational fields of passing Kuiper Belt objects to subtly alter its trajectory and optimize its fuel consumption. These maneuvers require exact timing and coordination. Every fraction of a degree matters when charting a course through the dynamic gravitational ballet of our solar system. The onboard AI, known as Argus, continuously monitors the ship's position, speed, and orientation. Argus is not just a calculator, it is a trusted companion to the crew, offering insights, suggesting adjustments, and even engaging in philosophical dialogue about the nature of space and time as it processes decades of data in real time. During the decades-long cruise, the effects of time dilation become a topic of quiet contemplation among the crew. Although the Eris is traveling at only a few % of light speed, the cumulative effects over many decades mean that while 150 Earth years may pass, the onboard clocks will record a shorter span. This relativistic discrepancy is not merely an academic curiosity, it has practical implications for communication with Earth. As the Eris ventures deeper into the outer solar system, the delay in communications increases from hours to days and eventually to weeks. Yet every transmission sent from Earth is treasured, a reminder of the home left behind and the shared history that binds all humanity together. As the Eris approaches the heart of the Kuiper Belt, the dwarf planets come into sharper focus. Pluto, once demoted from planetary status, is reimagined in the context of the 23rd century as a world of subtle beauty and scientific intrigue. Its vast nitrogen ice plains, rugged mountains, and a thin atmosphere stirred by solar winds have become a subject of intense study. Eris, with its reflective surface and enigmatic orbit, challenges preconceptions of celestial mechanics. Haumea's elongated, egg-shaped body spins rapidly, hinting at violent past collisions, while makemake, with its mysterious reddish hue, promises secrets locked in ancient cryovolcanic eruptions. The Eris's mission is not one of conquest but of peaceful exploration, a testament to the enduring curiosity and ambition of the human spirit. Upon entering the Kuiper Belt, the Eris initiates a series of orbital insertions around selected dwarf planets. Its maneuvering engines, fueled by the same nuclear fusion reactions that propelled it from Earth, are used to decelerate and adjust the ship's path. In one dramatic sequence, the spacecraft performs a flip maneuver to reorient its main thrusters for a controlled deceleration burn. Over a span of 20 days, the ship gradually reduces its velocity, allowing it to enter a stable orbit around Pluto. In the quiet majesty of the outer solar system, the spacecraft's descent is as graceful as it is deliberate. The deceleration burn is carefully calculated to balance the spacecraft's momentum against the gravitational pull of the distant world, ensuring that the Eris can linger in orbit for detailed scientific surveys without risking an uncontrolled dive into the icy surface below. Once in orbit, the atmosphere of exploration aboard the Eris shifts to a new phase. Scientific teams, now operating from both the main vessel and smaller autonomous landers, begin an exhaustive study of the dwarf planet's surfaces, compositions, and atmospheres. Robotic explorers, launched from the Eris's cargo bays, land on Pluto's icy plains and Eris's reflective terrains. They deploy arrays of sensors and drilling equipment to gather samples of frozen volatiles, complex organics and minerals that have remained untouched for billions of years. These data streams, relayed back to the main ship, are analyzed in real time by onboard laboratories equipped with quantum computers and artificial neural networks capable of recognizing patterns that human minds might miss. Life on board the Eris remains vibrant and dynamic despite the isolation of deep space. In the sprawling corridors of the habitat ring, generations of passengers have adapted to a rhythm of life dictated by the hum of engines and the quiet pulse of distant starlight. The population has grown steadily, reaching nearly 3,500 individuals over the course of the journey. Strict reproductive guidelines, established long before departure, ensure that genetic diversity is maintained without overwhelming onboard resources. Every birth is meticulously recorded, and every family unit is supported by a network of communal care and education centers. The children born into a life among the stars are nurtured with a blend of ancient Earth traditions and futuristic innovations, preparing them for the challenges of life on the fringe of our solar system. In the decades that follow, the Eris continues its scientific and exploratory mission. Crew members now seasoned by years of space travel lead expeditions into the shadowed recesses of the Kuiper Belt. They study the subtle interactions between solar radiation and the icy surfaces of the dwarf planets, uncovering evidence of complex chemical reactions that hint at the possibility of prebiotic processes. Meanwhile, the spacecraft's onboard biologists monitor the evolution of microbial life within the closed-loop biospheres that support human existence. Just as bacteria on Earth once adapted to harsh environments, the microorganisms aboard the Eris have begun to exhibit changes, some beneficial, others potentially harmful, prompting ongoing research into how life adapts in isolated ecosystems. As the Eris gathers ever more data, a profound sense of wonder permeates every corner of the ship. In the observation galleries, passengers gather to watch the slow dance of distant worlds. They marvel at the subtle interplay of light and shadow on the surfaces of these dwarf planets, each one a silent witness to the early days of the solar system. The experience is both humbling and inspiring, as the vast emptiness of space contrasts sharply with the rich tapestry of life and history unfolding aboard the vessel. In hushed conversations, elders recount tales of Earth's storied past, while children imagine a future filled with endless possibilities, a future that stretches beyond the confines of a single planet. In one particularly memorable ceremony, the captain of the Eris addresses the entire crew and passengers from the central atrium of the Nexus. With a voice both firm and gentle, the captain recounts the journey from Earth to the Kuiper Belt, emphasizing the monumental achievement of venturing into the unknown. "We are the inheritors of a dream," the captain proclaims, "a dream that began with a single spark of curiosity and has grown into a blazing beacon of hope. Our journey to the dwarf planets is not just about science, it is about the human spirit, our resilience, and our unwavering commitment to exploring new horizons." The words resonate deeply with every listener, instilling a renewed sense of purpose as the Eris continues its voyage through the dark, silent corridors of space. Yet the journey is not without its challenges. Over time, the cumulative effects of cosmic radiation, micrometeoroid impacts, and the stresses of long-term life in an artificial environment begin to take their toll. Engineers and medical teams work in tandem to repair and upgrade critical systems. Robotic maintenance units traverse the ship's exterior, patching up damage and recalibrating the fusion core's magnetic fields. In the living quarters, doctors monitor the health of the crew with advanced biosensors, ensuring that any signs of radiation-induced illness or metabolic imbalance are addressed promptly. These challenges are met not with despair, but with the same ingenuity and determination that launched the Eris into the void. As the mission enters its second century, the Eris prepares for its next major milestone, a series of flybys that will bring it close to Haumea and makemake. These dwarf planets, with their unusual shapes and enigmatic surfaces, promise to reveal secrets about the dynamic processes that govern small bodies in the solar system. The flybys are meticulously planned. The spacecraft's engines fire in short, controlled bursts to adjust its trajectory, ensuring that it passes at just the right distance to capture high-resolution images and spectral data without risking collision. During one such flyby of Haumea, the ship's cameras capture the breathtaking sight of its elongated pear-shaped form spinning against the backdrop of a star-strewn sky. In another, makemake's reddish surface shimmers with hints of complex organic chemistry, igniting the imaginations of scientists and laypeople alike. Communication with Earth, though sporadic and delayed, remains a lifeline for the Eris. Every transmission is encoded with the latest scientific discoveries, personal stories, and messages of hope. These communications, which now take several months to traverse the vast distances between the outer solar system and Earth, serve as a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of humanity. Every reply from Earth is carefully archived, each message a testament to the enduring bond between those who remain on the blue planet and those who dare to explore its fringes. During the long stretches of cruising between major waypoints, the onboard community turns to art, literature, and music to keep their spirits high. Virtual reality theaters within the Nexus stage elaborate productions that blend historical reenactments of Earth's past with visionary depictions of life among the stars. In one celebrated performance, an opera recounts the story of the first explorers who left Earth centuries ago, their voices echoing through the halls of the Eris as a tribute to the indomitable will of humankind. These cultural expressions are not mere distractions, they are vital threads in the fabric of life aboard the spacecraft, reinforcing a shared identity and the collective determination to overcome isolation and adversity. In the later decades of the journey, as the Eris draws nearer to its final destination, the nature of life aboard the ship begins to change in subtle but profound ways. The population, now spanning 3 generations, experiences a gradual shift in physical and psychological characteristics. Children born in the microgravity and artificial environments of the spacecraft grow up with leaner, more adaptable bodies. Their eyes, accustomed to the dim red glow of distant stars, have evolved to perceive a broader spectrum of light. Meanwhile, the social fabric of the Eris is woven tighter through decades of shared hardship and triumph. Generational councils composed of elders and emerging leaders guide the community with wisdom drawn from years of experience, ensuring that the knowledge of the past informs decisions for the future. Then comes the day when the Eris initiates its final deceleration maneuver, a sequence of events that will signal the end of its long voyage and the beginning of a new chapter in human exploration. With the dwarf planets looming ever larger in the viewport, the spacecraft's main thrusters are reactivated for a gentle but deliberate braking burn. Over a span of 30 days, the Eris reduces its velocity from interplanetary cruise speed to a pace that will allow it to enter a series of stable orbits around the target bodies. In one carefully choreographed sequence, the ship performs a counterspin maneuver to nullify the rotational momentum of the habitat ring. This allows for a reconfiguration of the internal modules, living quarters, laboratories, and communal spaces, preparing the vessel for long-term operations in the new environment. Argus, the ship's ever-watchful AI, processes terabytes of navigational data to ensure that the trajectory remains safe and optimal. Every adjustment is a delicate balance between the need to preserve momentum for scientific observation and the imperative to avoid collisions with the icy debris that permeates the Kuiper Belt. In these final moments of rapid change, the Eris's crew gathers in the Nexus for a solemn observance, a moment to honor the decades of sacrifice, ingenuity, and courage that have brought them to the brink of a new frontier. As the spacecraft's engines gradually fall silent, the Eris enters orbit around a cluster of dwarf planets, its mission now transitioning from transit to exploration. In the quiet after the final deceleration burn, the vast expanse of the Kuiper Belt unfolds before the crew in a breathtaking panorama of frozen worlds. Pluto, Eris, Haumea, and makemake each present a unique tableau of geological history, a collage of craters, ice fields, and fractured surfaces that tell stories of cosmic collisions, ancient volcanism, and the relentless passage of time. The data streaming in from robotic landers and orbiters promises to reshape our understanding of the outer solar system, challenging long-held theories and opening new avenues of research. In the following months, the inhabitants of the Eris establish a temporary scientific outpost on the orbit of Pluto. This outpost, built from modular self-assembling components, serves as a base for surface missions and in-depth study of the dwarf planet's complex environment. Scientists don specially designed exosuits to venture onto the icy terrain, collecting samples and setting up remote instruments that will operate for years to come. Every sample, every measurement, is transmitted back to the central laboratories on the main ship, where quantum analytical systems decipher the secrets of these ancient worlds. For the first time in generations, the inhabitants of the Eris feel the palpable thrill of discovery as they witness firsthand the mysteries of a long-forgotten frontier. The outpost becomes a beacon of human ingenuity, a small island of activity in the vast frozen sea of the Kuiper Belt. In its makeshift corridors and laboratories, researchers discuss theories of planetary formation, exchange ideas on the origins of organic compounds, and debate the implications of their findings for the future of space exploration. It is a time of scientific renaissance, fueled by the collective passion of a community that has sacrificed so much to reach this moment. In parallel with the scientific endeavors, life aboard the main vessel adapts to the new rhythm of exploration and discovery. Social and cultural activities take on a renewed sense of urgency as the community prepares for the next phase, establishing a permanent presence in the outer solar system. Educational programs are reoriented to focus on astrogeology, cryogenic engineering, and xenobiology, ensuring that the next generation is equipped to both appreciate and expand upon the knowledge gleaned from the dwarf planets. Artistic tributes, holographic murals, symphonic compositions, and digital archives pay homage to the journey's long and arduous path, capturing the essence of human hope and resilience in the face of the unknown. As the Eris settles into its new operational phase, the ship's leadership initiates a comprehensive review of the mission's progress. Every aspect of the journey, technical, scientific, and socio-cultural, is scrutinized to ensure that the legacy of this unprecedented expedition will endure for centuries. The reviews are conducted in a series of grand assemblies held in the Nexus, where representatives from every major department, engineering, science, medicine, and culture, share their insights and propose strategies for the challenges ahead. It is a process of collective introspection and planning, one that reflects the deep bonds forged over decades of shared struggle and triumph. In one stirring address, the chief scientist reflects on the transformation that has taken place over the course of the journey. We began this voyage as pioneers, carrying with us the hopes and dreams of an entire planet. Now, as we stand on the threshold of a new era in the outer solar system, we are not merely explorers, we are the architects of a future that transcends the limitations of our past. The dwarf planets are not just cold, distant orbs, they are the keys to unlocking the mysteries of our origins and the blueprints for our destiny. The words resonate deeply with every listener, igniting a renewed commitment to the mission and a collective sense of purpose that spans generations. Finally, as the Eris's mission enters its final decade, preparations are made for the long-term habitation of the newly explored regions. A fleet of autonomous shuttles, long stored within the ship's expansive cargo bays, is readied for deployment. These shuttles will ferry small teams of scientists, engineers, and settlers to designated landing sites on the surfaces of Pluto, Haumea, and Makemake. The plan is to build a network of research stations and eventual colonies, creating a bridge between the world that was and the future that is to come. The transition from a voyage of exploration to one of colonization marks the culmination of humanity's drive to extend its reach to every corner of the cosmos. In the twilight of the Eris's journey, as the dwarf planets orbit silently in the darkness, every life aboard the ship is united by a common vision, that of building a future among the stars. The legacy of Earth is carried not only in the data gathered and the samples collected, but also in the hearts and minds of those who dared to leave behind a familiar world in search of new horizons. The Eris, with its brilliant fusion core, rotating habitat ring, and a community that has weathered the vast emptiness of space, stands as a monument to the enduring spirit of human exploration. Now, as the final chapters of this epic journey are written, the Eris's deceleration burns have given way to a calm, measured pace of life. The spacecraft, once a roaring beacon of progress, has transformed into a quiet sanctuary, a place where the relentless pursuit of knowledge coexists with the gentle rhythms of daily life. In the dim light of distant suns, under the watchful gaze of ancient icy worlds, the inhabitants of the Eris continue their quest for understanding, embracing both the challenges and the wonder of their new home. The journey to the dwarf planets is more than a technical triumph. It is a story of hope, of sacrifice, and of the inexorable human desire to explore beyond the confines of our origins. In the year 2200, as the Eris orbits Pluto and its companions, humanity's gaze is fixed not on what has been left behind, but on what lies ahead. The cold, distant light of the Kuiper Belt illuminates the path to a future defined by discovery and transformation, a future in which the legacy of Earth is woven into the fabric of a sprawling interplanetary tapestry. With every passing day, as robotic explorers continue their surveys and the vibrant community aboard the Eris celebrates new births, breakthroughs in science, and moments of profound beauty, the journey stands as a testament to our species' resilience. It reminds us that even in the vast loneliness of space there is warmth in our collective spirit, and that the drive to learn, to explore, and to create will forever propel us toward new frontiers. In these final moments before the autonomous shuttles depart for surface operations, the captain of the Eris delivers a final message to all on board and to the countless voices echoing back from Earth. Our journey does not end here, it only evolves. We are now the custodians of the dwarf planets, the bridge between our past and the infinite possibilities of our future. Let us honor our origins, embrace our destiny, and step boldly into the unknown. For every challenge we overcome, for every mystery we unravel, we forge a path for those who will follow in our footsteps. And so, With the gentle hum of the fusion core as their constant companion and the silent majesty of frozen worlds as their guide, the people of the Eris embark on the next phase of their journey. A journey that will see them transform from travelers to settlers, from explorers to pioneers of a new cosmic era. The dwarf planets, long regarded as the forgotten outposts of our solar system, now shine with renewed promise, a promise of discovery, renewal, and the unquenchable flame of human ambition. Over the course of the next several decades, the shuttles depart one by one, each carrying teams destined to build research outposts and early colonies on the surfaces of these enigmatic worlds. On Pluto, a network of modular habitats is deployed along the vast nitrogen plains where scientists and engineers work side by side to establish a self-sustaining community. At the same time, on Haumea and Makemake, similar outposts are constructed amid the rugged, otherworldly landscapes, each settlement uniquely adapted to the local environment and powered by renewable energy harvested from the faint sunlight that bathes these distant orbs. Back on the Eris, life continues in its measured cadence. The rotating habitat still provides the familiar comfort of Earth-like gravity, and the Nexus remains a vibrant center of communal life where art, science, and philosophy intermingle. In quiet moments, as the ship glides through the deep darkness of space, individuals reflect on the incredible odyssey that has brought them to this point. A journey marked by ingenuity, perseverance, and the timeless human quest for knowledge. In the final analysis, the story of the Eris is not simply one of technological achievement but also of the enduring human spirit. It is a story of a people who dared to leave behind the known world and venture into the abyss, driven by a belief that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to become. As the first generation of surface explorers steps onto the icy terrain of Pluto, their footprints will be a lasting symbol of humanity's ceaseless drive to reach beyond the horizon, to embrace the vast unknown, and to write the next chapter in the grand narrative of our species. Thus, as the shuttles continue to depart and new settlements take shape under the pale light of distant suns, the legacy of the Eris is secured. It is a legacy of exploration, of sacrifice, and of the infinite potential of human creativity, a legacy that will inspire future generations to look upward and onward, to dream of worlds yet unseen, and to believe that no boundary is insurmountable. And so, the journey to the dwarf planets in the year 2200 becomes more than a mission. It becomes a beacon for all who dare to imagine a future beyond the confines of Earth. The Eris, with its brilliant fusion core, spinning habitats, and a community united by purpose, charts a course into the uncharted depths of our solar system. In doing so, it transforms not only our understanding of space but also our understanding of ourselves. A reminder that in the grand tapestry of the cosmos, every ending is but the beginning of a new, wondrous chapter.